Our final story is about the nature of living out our lives independently. We might take it for granted. For some of us, we might not think about what it means to live our lives independently. We just do it. It's a natural state of affairs, after all. It's stopping by a favorite coffee shop, maybe meeting people in everyday life and connecting with them, such as Lewis and John did. It's being in a neighborhood where you are liked and respected, or going to a job that is fulfilling. It is generally just making our own decisions on our life's paths. And it may be nothing out of the ordinary for us, but it becomes something extraordinary when we see it happening in the lives of people who face some greater challenges. And we think that makes it newsworthy indeed. So on our program tonight, we have invited from WTTW, a trustee on the WTTW Foundation. Marv Goldsmith is here. We're gonna share a little story as we do our little Avenues Tonight thing about WTTW and their Chicago Tonight program. And Marv, maybe you could sort of set the stage for us there.
I'd be happy to. You've seen what's going on here tonight. You can see the enthusiasm, the commitment, and the fun of the people who are here. And what I was happy to do was start a ball rolling that ended up with something that became increasingly important to Avenues. It was June 17th, 2016, and Roberta and Bob Washlow invited Adele and I to come to the Avenues annual dinner. At our table was one of the celebrities here, Lewis. And I'm not sure why I'm sitting among all these movie moguls, but I made the mistake of starting to talk sports. As John McDonough said, you don't want to do that. Because I was 2 minutes into the conversation and realized I was way over my head. So the evening progressed, and then the dancing began, and frankly, I was blown away. It is such a compelling story here about Avenues that I thought there must be a way to have more people know about Avenues and to understand how important an organization it is. So with the help of the folks at TTW, because when you're a trustee for 41 years, you get to ask for one thing. And so I went to Reese Markison, the chief operating officer, and I said, do me a favor. I want to bring somebody in, and I want them to tell you a story. And we did. And so Michelle and Bob told us the story, and Reese, I think, had the same reaction I did when I was here in 2016. And the next thing we know, we're going to produce a video with these stars, okay, at their home with all their Blackhawk paraphernalia. And they shot a segment with Jay Shefsky and the Tonight crew and the staff, and they put it on the air. We get a lot of reaction at WTTW to the things we do, but we've never had 1,300,000 hits. And more importantly, one of the commitments in the mission statement for WTTW is to be part of this community, our Chicagoland community. And so the video was developed and played, and it was played again on the Jumbotron at the Blackhawks United Center. I can tell you that the people at Avenues, the people at WTTW, the people at the Chicago Blackhawks, the Amundsen's, they all made this happen. I'm just lucky enough to be sitting up here to tell you a little story. Thank you.
Thank you, Marv. Appreciate that. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at that WTTW story.
How independently can adults with intellectual disabilities live as they age? Depends, of course, on the extent of their disabilities, but also on getting the right amount and type of support. Recently, Jay Shefsky visited a group of men living in a single-family home in a suburban neighborhood.
Sometimes lives can change by a chance encounter. Like the day after Glenn Amundsen moved to suburban Park Ridge and ran into Bill Rogers.
And I said, my coffee pot's in a box. Where can we get a cup of coffee around here? And he said, well, I always go to the Thorntons and read the sports page every morning, just like this.
Yeah, who won, who lost, I mean, it's the game or whatever.
Since then, Bill and Glenn have met here for coffee several times a week for nearly 20 years. And Bill introduced Glenn to his housemates. Bill Rogers lives right down the street. For more than 2 decades, he's shared this house with 4 other men, all with intellectual disabilities. Glenn and his family welcomed the men into their lives, including them in barbecues with friends and taking them to annual Blackhawks games. The house is owned by the nonprofit Avenues to Independence. Avenues runs 7 residences in the northwest suburbs that house some 75 people. All the other buildings have full-time overnight staff, but not this house.
Individuals with Down syndrome and other intellectual disabilities, including autism, have a wide range of capabilities.
Bob Okazaki is executive director of Avenues to Independence.
For those individuals who have the ability to live more independently, can work, hold a job, that's what this organization is here to help them achieve.
The men range in age from 48 to 90, and they were all eager to show me around.
Yes, this is my room, and I like to watch my TV in here.
Okay. Louis Kaufman is the youngest at 48. He volunteers at the public library, works at an insurance company, and he has excellent taste in television.
And when you watch TV, what do you like to watch?
Chicago Tonight sometimes, yes.
All right, that's great.
I'm told that Bill Rogers is so friendly and well known in the area that he's acquired an unofficial title.
You say, well, you know everybody. You're like the president or the mayor of Park Ridge. You know everybody. You know all the police. You know everybody.
59 years old, 25 years at Jewel, and with an encyclopedic knowledge of both sports and classic television.
That's from the Hawks game, that one sod I got.
Bill lived at home till he was 22.
See, when I lived at home, it wasn't very good for me. Being treated like a baby instead of a man. So they said, why don't you move to this program?
What's better for you about living here?
Oh, well, you got more. You can do what you want. See, like make your own food, wash your own clothes. So I couldn't do that when I lived at home.
The men do most of their own cooking. Tonight, Alan Raywinkle is making steak, mixed vegetables, and mashed potatoes. Alan is 69. He's retired now, but for 43 years he took public transportation to his job as a mail handler at the downtown Chicago post office. Alan says when they first moved in here in 1994, there was what he describes as a furor.
The people that used to live next door to us in that White House, you know, that she moved to the other side of Park Ridge, and she didn't want to be anything to do with us.
But others, I'm told, came to embrace their new neighbors, and now they're fixtures on the block.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
3 days a week, an Avenues staffer comes by for a few hours to help as needed. The idea is to provide just enough support to maximize independence. Alan asked for help with the mashed potatoes.
A few of the guys need assistance with cooking. All the guys need some level of help with their financial management. Staff also help them go grocery shopping and just do fun stuff in the community as well.
It's clear that the men in this house are like a family. They bicker now and then, but they are devoted to each other, and they're growing old together. George Manassian is 90. For many years, he was a beloved employee at a nearby pizza restaurant.
Here you go, George.
Not long ago, he moved out of this house and into another building run by Avenues to Independence because of health problems. He still comes by often. George used to share a room with Jim Kearns. Jim seems to be the biggest joker of the group. He has a job cleaning the Avenues to Independence offices, and he loves to fish with his brother.
So did you catch this fish?
Yeah.
No way. How big is this one?
Yeah, I say so.
That's a big catfish.
Happy birthday, dear Jimmy.
And today, Jim turns 59.
Thank you, boss.
After dinner, hockey on TV.
Let the Hawks win.
And then a surprise visit from Glenn and Laura Amundsen.
They're all just the kindest, most genuine people I've ever met. We would have them over to eat quite a bit, have them for cookouts and parties, and they never walked in without dessert.
Who pays for all this?
What are you, almost 60, right?
It's complicated. The men all get Social Security, and one has a pension income. Avenues to Independence covers staff support through fundraising from people in the community like the Amundsens, after whom this house is now named.
We've gotten far more out of it than we've ever given, for sure. I've never heard any of them say a bad word about anyone, and they are truly great people to be around, and it's kind of inspiring, really, to see that about them, because they have many challenges, obviously, in life, but the way they go about their life together, it's really a great story.
For Chicago Tonight, this is Jay Shefsky.
Fifth line?
You can find out more about Avenues to Independence on our website.
That's such a great video. I could watch that video over and over again. I've known these guys for 14 or 15 years, and yeah, a long time ago, a really long time ago. So I just want to ask you a few questions. Jim, what was it like having Jay Shefsky and a camera crew in your house?
I like it. I like it.
You liked it?
I liked it.
Did it make you feel famous?
Yeah, I am famous.
Yeah, you are famous. Well, now we have Bill, who's already famous in the community. How did it make you feel? Are you sure?
I'm famous too.
Yeah? When you hear that that video got watched 1.5 million times, what is that? How do you feel when you hear that?
I feel like a celebrity.
It makes you feel like a celebrity.
Right. I mean, a lot of people in the store where I work saw it. A lot of police saw it too. Lots of people I know saw it.
Hey, Al.
Yes.
How did you feel seeing yourself on television?
Just fine.
Just
fine.
Have you ever been on TV before?
No, that's the first time I've been on TV.
So are we going to start a new cooking show for you on television?
I hope so.
Steak and potatoes every day, all day. So, Louis.
Yes, Amy.
For all those people out there that watched your story and have always dreamed about living as independently as you guys do, what do you think this story did for them?
It showed that people with intellectual disabilities can live independently, as independently as possible, with the proper support that they need to achieve their everyday living needs and goals. It's been a great experience for me. I got to meet Jay Shefsky, and I've got stopped on the street from people in Park Ridge saying that they saw that video.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank all of you guys for sharing your story. And Bill, was there something you wanted to say to Marv?
Oh, I wanted to thank him for everything. I mean, it was a great experience.
Yeah, thank you.
Mark, for everything. It
Thank
was
you
a
very
great
much,
experience.
everybody.
And
Yeah, thank you,
to
Marv.
WTTW for all
Thank
of
you.
the
Thanks, DTW.
coverage.
All right.
That's it.